Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for coming in to the webinar. It's a very interesting topic. We'll be doing discussions on digital payments and lifestyle banking. I have with me esteemed panelists, which includes Saqib Khan from Backbase. Saqib heads the regional offices of Backbase. We have Dimple DeSilva, and she is from Intellect. And we have Pushpavaneswaran from Expleo. So all three are very esteemed vendors from the different parts of the payment life cycle, from digital payments to lifestyle banking to QA support on the similar programs. So let me quickly introduce you to the subject, and we'll be having coverage with Backbase on their engagement banking and lifestyle banking case studies. And Expleo will take us through digital payments and a QA view of the whole cycle. Ending with Intellect team would take us through the digital payments. And then we have a time for Q&A. So looking at the modern banking payments, payment is growing in a big way, both from retail and corporate perspective. All of us use today retail payments in multiple shape and forms, right from ATM, POS, to digital payments, online payments, wallets, credit cards, and also in the Forex market and foreign currency. Similarly, on the corporates, they use payments right from local and corporate payments perspective. Again, right from SWIFT to different product processors to central banks, all of them are involved with international payments, domestic payments, direct debits, and credit cards. So multiple dimensions to the same payments. When you look at the global, there are 700 plus payments systems in over last 3 years, 2016 to 2019. And payment as an area is growing at a CAGR of 47%, which is simply unbelievable growth rates in the current market. And this is prior to COVID. Post-COVID, of course, there has been again material shift towards the digital payments. And Backbase and other teams would comment on these. But if you look at Americas, it's tripled its volume of payment systems deals. Europe has doubled as well. MENA is increasing at 60% kind of growth rate. And Asia Pac, which has always had much larger pie of the puzzle, and they've kind of remained 10 to 20% growth on the payment systems. So holistically, when you look at the payment systems, it's quite a healthy global growth. Again, when you look at the deals, year on year from GCC perspective, in the Upper Gulf and Saudi, there are 40 plus payment deals. And when you look at the payment deals, UAE is clearly coming out to be the market leader, though Kuwait and some of the other markets had significant deals in 2016. In 2019, last year, almost 60% of the deals were UAE, followed by Saudi Arabia and other markets. So payment deals are increasing, and at the same time, the regional breakup is led by UAE. Now, there are two key types of payments. There is retail payments, which all of us do individually, and there is a wholesale payments. And again, UAE plays a significant role in digital payments, with almost 60% of payment system deals are going through the UAE, followed by Bahrain, which is another fintech hub, Qatar, and Kuwait and Saudi Arabia. When you look at the wholesale payments, it's a very different perspective. And again, When you look at wholesale payments, UAE is 50%, Saudi is quite a significant corporate payments market, followed by Kuwait. Yeah, so GCC perspective again is led by UAE and led by retail. When you look at the banks who invested in ADCB, AFS, Al Raji, Network, Sharaf, which is an exchange house, QNB, all of these have invested big time in payments. In fact, QNB has gone live with a payment hub program. ADCB has gone live with a payment program. And many other banks are currently investing in the digital payments. When you look at the wholesale payments, banks like National Bank of Kuwait, SAB, NBF. NBF has been an interesting innovator in a wholesale payment space, and Vocalink from MasterCard. So it's a fair bit of investment both in a retail and a wholesale payment. Now, one of the key areas which we'll discuss with our panelists today at length would be around lifestyle banking. And that's, while it's a new term in some of the markets, different parts of lifestyle banking have been existing for a long while. So again, when you look at the coupon management, has been around for a while. It used to be manual, then it went into QR codes, moving to loyalty platforms, where multiple loyalty platforms and multiple programs we participate in. Again, it was originally through a number. It's now moved into mobile apps. Location-based offerings, where a significant number of banks are now investing in location-based offers, and redemption of rewards is a significant. In fact, I was reading an article which was indicating that rewards is the second big currency globally after the US dollars. So that's the size of the banking market. Social and gift sharing has ultimately changed to digital payments in a big way thanks to COVID. And digital customer acquisition or onboarding is a mantra. And my colleague from Backbase would share, my colleague from Intellect would share on how they've seen on retail and card. And card usage is at an all-time high in terms of spend, including the contactless technology and the digital transactions. So there is a new to the market. I hope many of you would have heard of CLIP. CLIP is a UAE government initiative for a digital cash, which potentially will have a replacement to cash in this part of the world. Kuwait Finance House has launched a mobile wallet. Bank Dhofar at Oman has launched a mobile wallet. This is all part of the government initiative for a new wallet based on a MasterCard technology. And Emirates NBD has just gone live with a payment hub solution from another supplier in the industry. So again, the fintech landscape is really booming with multiple payment mode, Samsung Pay, Apple Pay coming in a big way, and ecosystem are fully shifting, right? So let me invite Saqib from Backbase to take you through the Backbase's view. And Backbase has been one of the innovators, and Saqib has played a huge role in the market. Saqib, over to you.
Thank you so much indeed, Chetan. First, please just validate that I'm audible at your end. You can hear
Saqib,
me,
are
right?
you able to hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, Saqib. Okay.
Okay, fantastic. So thank you so much, Chetan. It is indeed a great pleasure to be a part of this really interesting forum today. And to be very fair, you guys have chosen one of the most exciting topic, which is all about lifestyle banking in today's world, and how we as consumers and human beings are embracing this change in the consumer behavior, especially in the context of the current challenging times. So let me start with this promise of Backbase, which is essentially that how we can make a bank that people would love to bank with. And at the core of, from a Backbase perspective, the core is on is on how you build a very emotional bonding with your end customers, right? So our promise from Backbase perspective is that we build banks that people would love to essentially work with you as a bank. With this notion, I'd like to move forward, and if Chetan yourself, if you could please move to the next slide. Thank you so much. Uh, could you please move to the next slide, please?
Reboot.
I'll send you the link.
Yeah, Murtaza, I'm not able to change the slide. If you can, please.
You just tell me.
Forget everything, just take slides.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So today, I'll take this opportunity to essentially give a very high-level overview of about Backbase, and then I'm going to talk about either you differentiate or die. So essentially, either you give me digital or death. That's what we mean here. We'll be talking about engagement banking and how and why it is really important to in the entire customer life cycle process. Why is it really important to be very well engaged with the customer? And then I'll be talking about the recipe about lifestyle banking. So let's move on. Backbase is essentially a software company. We're headquartered in Amsterdam with offices around the world. And at the heart of what we do is we build banks that people would love to bank with on the Backbase digital engagement, omni-channel digital front end. We take pride in saying that we work with more than 180 plus customers, and there are primarily three reasons why banks work with us. Is first of all, and the most important aspect is customer experience on the glass. So essentially, it could be your your mobile, or it could be your tablet, or it could be your web banking, and then how banks can accelerate and go really fast to the market. And third but not the least, for the one reason why we're all here in this race is to make more revenue out of that. We take pride in saying that we maintain our leadership positioning for the past 8 years. So if you look at any of the research analyst reports with there, and we're a company of around 1,000 people. And with this, let's move to the second slide, please. These are a bit of a synopsis of our customers around the world. So what you see here are very, one of the really large top banks likes of HSBCs or Royal Bank of Canada. In the local region, we have, yes, Chetan, if you could please move ahead. In the local region, we're working with more than 9 banks, and these are some of the very interesting logos we work with. For example, Bank Ela in Bahrain, though I have a very detailed, sort of a case study what we've done with them, but this is a challenger bank that is has really disrupted the market. Kuwait International Bank is one of the recent signings that we done, almost a month bank, Arab Banking Corporation, etc. Yes, let's move on. So what are we here for, right? So what's our mission? Backbase mission is very simple. We don't want banks to keep on pushing products. We want banks to embrace a very, very human-centric approach, and to, instead of creating a push model, we believe in having a very pull model, right? Which is very human-centric. And that's what essentially all our products are designed within that particular concept. Yes, Chetan, please. Moving forward, the other thing we also see, and one of the main challenges we've seen in today's world, especially with incumbent banks, that they've invested in a lot of legacy systems. For example, they have their mobile banking in a different technology stack. They have their web banking for retail or for corporate or for wealth management in a different stack. And this, at the end of the day, they do not, all these systems are not communicating to each other, and hence you give a very disconnected end customer experience, which really uh, reduces your brand loyalty with your end customer. So what we believe and what we advocate is to have an omni-channel orchestration sort of an ecosystem within the bank, and I'm going to explain you very shortly how we do that. So moving forward, let's talk about some of the nice or very interesting case studies we have from the region. I'm not too sure if you're aware about it, but Discovery Bank is one of the most sought after bank in South Africa, and what they wanted to do was something very unique. So they embraced behavioral banking, and what they did was they are now offering really nice dynamic reward programs to their customers who are physically healthy. So for example, if you're, you go out for a run, or you have a very sporty life, you really get really nice banking rewards because of your your Apple Watches and your Fitbits. So this is something that they've done very unique. So essentially what they did was that in order to be the bank that people would love, they have to manage their lifestyle with a banking offering. And in order to do that, they had to invest in a particular platform that could take them to that particular let's say positioning. And Backbase was very delighted to be working with them, and hence we took them to this space. So I would recommend all of you guys who are participating in today's discussion to please read about, please do search about Discovery, download their app, and see that they're offering a really nice experience. Let's move on. The other really nice, unique case study we have from the region is Bank Illa. Bank Illa in Arabic, Illa means a bank for you. So this is launched as a sub-brand by Bank ABC in Bahrain. Arab Banking Corporation is a large banking institution in this part of the world with over 30 million assets under management. And what they wanted to do was they wanted to create a new brand under the Bank ABC brand, corporate branding, that can essentially offer very unique offerings which the millennials of today's world and the generation Z is expecting, right? So they're looking themselves 10 years ahead, and based on certain consumer research, they realized that the millennials of today's world are essentially looking for a very nice and a unique experience on the glass. So nobody wants to go to the branch, and nobody wants to really have that physical old school way of working, right? So Bankilla is something very unique that Backbase has driven. We are the central hub in this entire orchestration of the bank, and Backbase plays a really pivotal role. One thing which is very important is to also embrace this change with an open mindset. And this is what we recommend to a lot of banks, that when you are launching a lifestyle bank, you have to do your research very well. You also have to do your market segmentation in a very proper manner. So Bankilla is something that I thought I would definitely speak out today. And, here it is. Moving forward, another very unique case study, but not for the Middle East, from a very interesting place, Vietnam. So YOLO Bank is one of the most forward-looking bank in that region, and they are essentially a purely digital bank and only focusing on lifestyle banking. And they have very unique case studies. This is a bank which has around one of the top 5 banks in Vietnam with around a $15 billion asset size. And they realize that either they die or they differentiate, right? And they realize that investing in a platform is the main idea to become a digital lifestyle bank. The other bank I have in today's talk is not in the context of retail, but it is more in the context of private banking and wealth management. So Credit Suisse is one of the top global private bank in the world. And for them, they have a very different persona and a very different sort of a segment they cater to, right? These are high net worth individuals. So what we did with them was we really understood the recipe of success for them, and we realized that what are the underlying needs for a private banking customer, right? And we realized that you have to be very spontaneous, and you have to have a very personal touch with your high wealth management customers. In order to do that, we created a very unique lifestyle bank for Credit Suisse that has a live chat-in option. So you have a very personalized and a dedicated financial advisor that can directly speak with you and be there whenever you want to. So everybody in this call, I would also recommend you to please do some more reading. If there are any more questions, please reach out to me. Let's move on now. Uh, I'm not going to bore you guys with a lot of. We do have many interesting bank to work with, but Royal Bank of Canada is one of the definitely one of those banks that shines out. Royal Bank of Canada is the top 20 banks internationally. They have around a trillion asset base size, and we essentially worked with them because they had a very fragmented approach, and they wanted to unify unify the experience in a very delightful manner, and introduce these lifestyle changes that their customers are having. So yet another really nice case study on Backbase. All right, Chetan. Yeah, so many more. As I mentioned, this is just a glimpse. Metro Bank in UK, it's a business banking. Orange Bank uses us. HDFC in India, and Qatar Islamic Bank in Qatar. Thank you. So if there is one word that explains Backbase really well, it is the word engagement. I think one of the key areas where banks really have to invest now is in engagement, right? And this engagement has to be flawless, it has to be delightful, and it has to be meaningful. And that's essentially what Backbase does for our key banks. Moving on, I have, and to do that, the recipe is very simple. We believe in having a very outside-in approach when we embrace on certain digital transformations. This is in the context of retail, but we also have a similar approach when we are doing business banking projects. And what we see is that what is that one thing that your end customers are looking for, right? And how you can create that particular value. So what is important is that from our perspective, the recipe to success for banks is to have a very outside in approach and start from the personas that you are essentially targeting. Let's move on, Chetan. Okay, and how is that done? It's if you could perhaps click 4 times, it should be covering the entire slide now. No, okay, let's go back. Yeah. So in order to be the bank that people would love to bank with, essentially you need to have a platform in the heart of your digital strategy, right? And this is the engagement platform. It will connect with your underlying core systems and your fintech partners on either direct integrations or through open APIs. And what you get on the glass is an always on experience, which can also be human assisted. We all know that we cannot eclipse the fact that humans, or we as people, have to be there, right? But now the way we have to be there is all through digital channels. And hence, the answer would be to having an engagement platform on the top of your legacy systems. Yeah. So yeah, essentially what we're trying to say here is that from a Backbase perspective, it is a horizontal platform that can essentially power any line of your business. So it could be your retail banking, SME banking, corporate or wealth management. And then there are two business solutions that we offer. One is digital banking, which is essentially referring to your engagement phase in your customer life cycle. And then there is digital sales, where you actually close the deal. So it's all about onboarding a new customer and also cross and upselling them and increasing your wallet share. Thank you, Chetan. Let's move on. What we're trying to say here is that for banks, especially traditional incumbent banks, one of the very important aspects to become a lifestyle bank is to have a very MVP approach, right? And also to have a mechanism in your implementation or your product roadmap where you're taking constant feedback. If you take the example of ILA or Discovery Bank, they started with a very small, unique proposition. And because the Backbase platform is based on microservices, and there is a lot of agility on how you roll out new products, from our perspective, the key to be there and offer new functionalities in a very rapid manner is to have a very MVP and an agile approach in your implementation. So that's essentially what we want to say here. Moving forward, and digital transformations, in order to become a lifestyle bank, you have to essentially cater to all the different stakeholders in a particular bank, right? So you have to have a very nice UX design system, which is based on open standards. You have to have your digital marketing people that be working on a content management system, and your back end and your front end developers that have complete sort of work in a collaborative manner, all of these different teams, so that you can offer lifestyle banking products in a very rapid manner. So if you look at it, digital transformation, especially in the context of lifestyle banking, these different personas within a bank are really key. Let's move on, Chetan, please. And at the end of the day, what you get is you innovate like a neobank, and that's what we aspire to do with the banks that we work for. We keep our benchmarks likes of Revoluts and Monzos of the world, and the banks that work with us can definitely reach to that offering in a very fast manner.
Thank you so much. Very, very interesting insights and quite attractive in the whatever you've been building, and clearly looks like great innovations. I think anybody who would wish to know more, there is an event coming in for Backbase on engagement banking on December 2nd and 3rd. It's a digital event. You can register using their website. Yeah, so we'll move into the next panelist. So I'll invite Pushpavaneswaran from Expleo to take us through digital payments and lifestyle banking and give their view from what they see with multiple clients as well as their QA experience. Pushpavaneswaran, over to you.
Thanks, Chetan. Good afternoon and good morning to everyone wherever you are, and a warm welcome to all of you. Move on, please. With a brief intro to start. Expleo, with 15,000 plus employees across 30 countries and 38 nationalities, providing consulting, engineering, and quality services, span across BFSI, auto, and aerospace. Expleo Solutions, being a separate legal entity and listed in BSE and NSE, delivering quality services to BFSI. We are recognized as leader by Nelson Hall and challenger by Gartner. We successfully completed more cards and payments projects, and we are ISO 9001 and 27001 certified organization, and also a PCI DSS certified organization. Moving on to how Expleo helped banks in digital payments. Chetan, can you move on? Expleo helped an Indian digital bank, India Post Payments Bank, on their journey of core and digital transformation project. The scope included all the retail liability services functions, covering across all the payment channels and devices and networks as you've seen in the screen. There are quite a lot of challenges, integration between the banks and the post office on how the balances are transferred and the accounting is happening, digital account opening using Aadhaar biometric and doing the transactions based on the Aadhaar validation, lot of dependability on different stakeholders such as core platform providers, network service providers, device technology providers, and doing an end-to-end quality assurance. Micro ATM is one of the specific devices where the postman can go to the customer's door and do the doorstep banking. We did manual and automation testing, and the bank went live with no major critical issues, and our journey with the bank still continues. The proof of putting is that bank leveraged the digital services through micro ATM, AEPS payments, and delivered 2,000 crore of cash during the lockdown period of 75 days as doorstep banking. Moving on to another case study. Chetan, can you on? Okay, thanks. Expleo helped a global bank, Barclays, in the flawless rollout of Payments Hub using Global Pay Plus platform to implement high-value payments for corporate services and low-value payments for retail services across US, UK, and other major countries in Europe. Scope includes various networks such as SWIFT, CHIPS, Fedwire, Target2, SEPA, and we used simulators for message simulation and tools for stub creation for upstream and downstream application validation. Again, the amount of the coverage by verifying, validating the messages, the proof of pudding is the application processed 30,000 plus transactions with a value of 300 billion per day after go live without no major issues. I would like to say that we are partnered with ENBD. As Chetan told, ENBD went live, currently going on the transformation with payments hub transformation. As well as we are partnered with some of the banks in Saudi Arabia for their payments hub and the new implementation of the instant payments transformation. With this, let us shift left and see how the digital payments evaluation is. The first concept, the conception of credit card was written in a novel, Looking Backward in 1887. With years passing, in 1918, electronic money was born through telegraph by Federal Reserve. I wonder whether the new generation knows how the telegram looks like. Amex came out with a charge card in 1958, and ACH and NACHA was formed between 1972 to 74 to form a uniform operating rules. First debit card was born on 1978, and first online purchase was made at Tesco. And then goes Google checkout, online purchases, and the emergence of first contactless payments. Year 2006 witnessed the emergence of PCI Council and thereby its standard. And then all the mobile payments, digital wallets, digital currencies are evolved. I may say that though the digital payments are in globe for a very longer time, but this pandemic makes the people to feel it, realize its significance, and change the lifestyle of payments. Moving on to the payments evaluation to the key drivers. Chetan, one should know the key drivers of digital payments such as customer demand, regulatory, and technology drivers. The customer demand for anytime and anywhere banking, complemented by smart devices and internet, fueled the growth of digital payments, and retail payments are significantly moving towards real-time instant payments across the globe. The convenience and accessibility includes no need to carry cash or visit ATM, payments from the comfort at home and through any personal devices 24/7. Highly interactive user experience offered by the likes of Google, Amazons of the world. The user experience become the key differentiator and highly personalized with customized rewards, loyalty programs, and offers based on consumption and expenses pattern. Regulations in FS always played a key role in creation of competence, transparency, and security controls in the success of digital payments. For example, PSD2 mandates the financial institutions to provide access of the customer's banking data to third party. Open banking provides additional requirements such as interoperability, resilience. Even couple of countries in Middle East is in the process of implementation of PSD2 open banking regulations. Another example being UPI in India combined with mobile penetration onto the local masses, enabling the financial inclusion of the interbank. Needless to mention, the success of India's fueling subsidy program has already saved 2 billion by way of DBT. The objective is to increase the efficiency of the payments, competition, pricing, and better financial products and services. The technology-led initiatives such as DLT, cryptocurrencies, IoT, APIs, mobile wallets, tokenization are digitally integrating every industry with the payments landscape to create the payments ecosystem. Moving on to the payments ecosystem, the constantly evolving payments ecosystem is a complex network of different, often unconnected players. From cash to cards to mobile in real time, the payments ecosystem continues to expand. The continued expansion of payment methods along with country by country legacy system causes difficulties for the global merchants. As the globalization of commerce and consumer spending continues, the capability to plug and play hub gets stronger. The need to deliver the payments globally is driving more interconnection among the participants in the payments market. Let me take an example of Amazon. Amazon, while accepting the payments with Visa card or MasterCard, they need to comply with the regulations and route the transactions to those schemes. But when the payments are made with Rupee card or Cub card, the transaction needs to route out to that particular schemes. However, if the payments are made using other pay methods such as UPI in India, faster payments in UK, or SEPA in Europe, Amazon needs to comply with such network regulations and the messaging format. Moving on to the lifestyle changes, how these ecosystems makes the changes in the lifestyle of the customer. Various devices, types and modes of payments, changing the lifestyle of the customer from going brick and mortar banking to banking at home. Moving from magnetic strip card to EMI card to contactless payments, there is always an element of customer focus, security, and easiness. Mobile POS and mobile payment methods powered by mobile penetration have fundamentally changed the digital landscape. Technology is being used to come up with innovative business solutions, as can be seen in the social media payments, smart speaker payments, e-wallets, and cryptocurrencies. Now, moving on to the critical information, the challenges and the success factors from the perspective of quality assurance. There are multiple challenges emerging, and the payments industry is overcoming all those challenges and growing. The challenges includes finding newer ways to stay on top of the new technologies and to ensure superior customer experience. High quality customer experience requires compatibility across a wide range of devices. Banks have to deal with various market driven aspects like changes in customer behavior, increasing the global competition, emerging the tech trends like mobile, IoT, etc. Functional stability across the channels, integrating various devices, integration across the platform is another challenge. Let me share my personal experience. Opened an account with a new bank branch near to my residence. Tried to add the open bank account as a beneficiary with the bank where I am holding my salary account. Online banking throws an error rejecting as IFSC code issue, but the mobile banking accepted and registered the beneficiary. However, while doing the transfer, it was not successful due to the fact that the IFSC code was not configured at the bank level. So whom to blame? Whether that the bank configuration at the platform level or at the mobile level or at the online level. See, likewise, there are multiple challenges configuring the devices and the platforms and providing a digital services. Typical business challenges include message simulation, various types of messages across the globe, tools used for the simulation, data, reconciliation of the payments transaction. There are a lot of honest transactions, office transactions, and across various networks. So how the reconciliation can be carried out? Needless to say about the performance changes. There are recent examples in UK and Middle East where the banks struggle to up the channels while upgrading their core card and banking systems. Challenges also extended to increased cyber theft and frauds. To overcome these challenges, quality assurance plays a vital role. Banks are required to have a proper digital assurance strategy in place. Also, banks need a quality assurance and testing partner who can leverage their competence centers, capable of delivering the payments business processes, knowing the regional regulations, messaging standards, format, using the right tools for message injections, validations, methodologies, automating the payments lifecycle, including the non-functional capabilities like performance and security. The competence also inclined towards predicting the code quality using several measuring aspects, including the risk-based testing to predictive identify and avoid defects at an early stages. Moving away from traditional waterfall to agile to ensure a minimum viable product to the customers to have a faster time to market. So you need a specialized assurance partner. Moving on to the challenges, what are the future of the digital payments? I don't want to talk about all the things. Let me take only the two things. Customer 360, forming an aggregators, linking all the banks so that the customer can get in one single view of 360-degree view. He can do and transfer from any account to any account. He can go and take the services of the loans from a particular bank and do the deposits within another bank. So forming an aggregators, linking all the banks in a particular region through APIs and providing the customer with a 360-degree view and do any type of business with any banks and other things is one of the future of the digital payments. Moving on to the new alternate payments, there is another area of focus where the fintech players are doing a lot of research and coming out with voice activated biometric payments and payments by facial recognition. On these lines, with the help of augmented reality technology, the credit card can show the credit limit, utilized amount, balances, the transactions carried out over a period, and pattern of expenditure, etc., on the analysis of the usages in the card. By instead of going through an online banking, mobile banking, going to the branch, the card itself is showing all the details at one shot. Likewise, we can go on for instant cross-border payments and other areas. With this, let me complete my presentation, and thanks for the opportunity. And for any queries and clarifications, please better to contact through my mail. Thanks. Chetan, I'm not able to hear you.
Thanks, Pushpa.
You are on mute.
For your insights.
No, I'm not.
We're now moving to the next panelist, Dimple from Intellect Design Arena, on their view on the digital payments.
Thank you, Chetan. Thanks for the opportunity. It's thanks everyone, and thanks for your time as well. I would like to take you through here a couple of things because you had a detailed understanding about what is lifestyle payment, what are the different types of digital payment. But I wanted to highlight a couple of things. Why it's so important for us to retain our customer, acquire customer and retain our customer. You can see there are a lot of customer has different lifestyle needs today. Today, life has changed. Everything is on the app. I order today through Zomato, through go on trips, through Make My Trip, and then I make some Amazon, go and do my e-purchases and so on. But don't you think that it is so scattered or spread out that I have different apps running across different in my mobile? My mobile has been messy as my handbag today. I wanted to bring everything together and make a single app which can bring the convenience to your customer. This is what should run through any bankers, any finance institute's mind. How can I couple these everything together? As Chetan mentioned earlier, today 60% of the UAE retail payments are from 60% from UAE, the retail payments are happening. Why can't I bring everything and make a single app? Move to the next slide, Chetan. Next slide, please. When you put everything together, how can I reimagine the payment landscape in a different way? How can I bring banking transaction into a single mobile and wallets? How can I easily integrate with clips in UAE, in Kuwait, and the Bahrain and Oman all have come with a wallet platform, digital wallet platform, or rather total internet payments gateways has been evolved. Why can't I bring everything and bring a single app which I can do my transaction easy and faster, and bring the agent banking, bring the merchant banking, merchant platform in a single app, single experience. or rather I can say omnipresence with the different touch points, customer, agents, and the merchants. And the most importantly, take the other to the next level is the my marketplace, or rather we can say e-mall, electronic mall, and combine all and bring the lifestyle bank. A single experience through a single app. To bring those all together, I need to have certain services that we say one thing is a customer unique experience coming from the mobile. The second thing is my user journeys or my experience layer, customer onboarding, digital customer onboarding. At least within 22 seconds, I should be able to onboard a customer. Otherwise, it's a hassle. I don't think any customer would like to experience a hassle, experience a cumbersome customer onboarding process. Today, with the COVID, we all are worried to touch a single paper or go to the branch. Will I catch COVID and so on? Bring everything. Make a digital customer onboarding. Not only that, when I'm in my e-commerce platform, when I'm buying a product, can I give an instant loan? Do I have to go to the bank, go to a different app, ask for a personal loan? No, I should be able to ask for a quick loan now and ask for a loan now and pay later. And EMI based. Now for this, we need to have back-end processors. Today, Intellect has thought in a different way and brought in design thinking into this. Total end-to-end, front-end to back-end processors. Now, when it comes to the processors, we talk about how am I going to do a credit evaluation? Is it credit evaluation online real time? Yes. Is it integrated with the credit bureau? In UAE is a Etihad credit bureau. In every country today we have integrated with a different credit bureaus and provide online real-time credit evaluation, which gives a spontaneous credit to the customer, which makes the customer's life much more convenient. That's why we said that all the features needs to come with a true 360 experience, which comes with a back-end processors, end-to-end processor. It could be a neobank, it could be a digital bank, it could be a challenger bank. Or I have a legacy platform, I want to go for a progressive modernization. All can be achieved through a single orchestration layer, process-driven proper orchestration layer. With this, bring your NFC base, you go to the outlet, touch and pay, or your virtual payments cards, not only that, cryptocurrency and so on. The most importantly, social banking. I should be able to make payments through my Facebook account, my WhatsApp accounts. Today, we have implemented all across the world in a different banks. We can share those things as we move on, I will cover. And the most importantly, which I have already covered this, it's the seamless customer onboarding. Can I take a quick picture? Do a face recognition, do a biometric analytics, and then onboard the customer. For this, we use the AI as well. We take the unique value of data. Today, banks are full with data. Are we really using the data? We're not using the data. You might ask, Dimple, how can the customer onboard and the data has nothing to do with it? Yes, today we integrate with the anti-money laundering system, do a lot of validation. Why can't I get the value of those data and provide a unique experience to your customer? eKYC and the total AML can be supported through a unique AI-based user journeys, which today we have provided and implemented. It is we're thinking in a different way to address the customer experience. And the most importantly, other services such as identification, matching the data, don't input a single data, scan and upload. These all are the unique services that you can provide it to customer. You can move on, Chet. Yes. Then there is another most important things which we missed out as banks, as finance institute, or as a solution providers. That do we really look at the customer's lifestyle? Do we really look at their lifestyle and bring solution which match with their lifestyle? Sometimes we miss out. Look at a millennial or a student who goes to the school and then move to the university. They need instant loans. daily loans, one-day facilities, as well as the other facilities such as school education loans and all. That should be spontaneously. They should be able to request through the app and get the loans. Not only that, features like gamification. Today, gamification has been like a disruptor. Everyone plays. And can't I give some points and keep that touchiness with the app? And plus give some rewards with that. Redeem those rewards with outlets. It could be a walk-in mall or it could be a digital mall. Redeem and bring these two gamification and redemption together and give a unique experience. These are the different things that you can bring in your payment platform, which Intellect has already done and implemented in several implementation across the world. Not only that, if you today walk into a Carrefour outlet, you can get your credit card within 10 minutes. It's online real-time credit evaluation, and take your credit card and walk away with a bunch of goods. Now, this is where we have evolved and given a proper solution to cater and address the customer's needs. The most importantly, I wanted to highlight, I already highlighted this, lifestyle bank. When you say lifestyle bank, it's not just the payment. It's not just the customer onboarding. In a single app, I should be able to integrate with Zomato and all the other merchants and do my purchases also through a single app. I don't want to jump onto several apps, use different wallets, accounts, and all. It is really messy. I should have a single app which caters, and I can quickly go and purchase. Not only that, I should be able to purchase online real-time products and pay later and so on through a single app. These are the other unique things which we have introduced through Intellect. You can move to the next slide. Yes. Now, I've been talking a lot about the retail. Today, not only retail, even corporate banking has moved on to more contextual base, persona base. They have identified the customer behavior, customer mind, customer expectation, and come up with the user journey. Today, Intellect transaction banking platform has realized that we have to be moved into more contextual based experience and come up with different products to address the corporate and SME business needs and provide a proper unique services to corporate sector as well as the SME sector, such as virtual accounts. These all are our set of implementation which we have provided virtual account across the world under different customers. These are the real implementation today is running in UAE as well as the other countries to bring the virtual accounts experience. This is a long story. If you want to hear more, you can connect with Intellect team and we will give you the true experience and share good case studies. Now I talk about all the corporate customers, retail customers, and so on. The most importantly, there's something I touched upon that today you can talk about all these experience, but how can I bring these experience together? For that, we need to have a proper orchestration layer, API-driven orchestration layer, which should be I should be able to integrate. There's every time the banker has this mind, should I go for a challenger bank? Should I go for a neo bank? Should I go for just a payment platform? But to do everything, you need to have a proper API orchestration layer. This is where the beauty of all the solution comes. The entire platform, if I say the brain of or rather I would say it's a heart of the platform is the API orchestration layer. How easily I can integrate with the different applications or different external entities, like, it could be partner ecosystem, and bring all those services into a single layer and orchestrate it. And this needs to have a values as well as validations, as well as parameters, setups, and everything, which brings that seamless experience. Now, these are the unique things that always comes with a end-to-end solution. If I say there was my previous panelist was highlighting the user experience. One thing is the user experience. The second thing is the total integration and the orchestration and the processing layer. The payments needs to get processed. To process the payment, you need to have a enterprise payment processing layer. Now, this is one side of the story. It needs to support with the reconciliation and so on. Most importantly, it's end with another important thing is cybersecurity tokenization and the agility. Let's move to the next. Before I move in, I wanted to end with some small points about Intellect. Intellect has widespread of products. We are into more than 104 countries across the world, and we have almost 276 plus customers across consumer banking, wealth, and as well as the digital banking platform, neo banking and challenger banking, as well as the corporate and retail channels and the end-to-end transaction banking and treasury, as well as insurance. I have few minutes. I just have to skip on to the next slide and close it. Next one, the last slide. Yes, these are our clear customer experience. These are our key customers, which we will share this. You can contact with us. I will share the detail, the case studies with you all about our implementation. Most importantly, the one thing I need to leave behind all of you all is the design thinking. Think differently, understand your customers and provide what customer needs. The second most important thing is that we as Intellect has labs in India as well as UK, which gives you the research experience. We bring you there and we work with you, we hear you out and design your total experience layer. And plus we have workshops conducted by Cambridge as well as Oxford for design thinking. Thanks a lot, Chetan. I think I'm...
Thank you so much, Dimple. It was quite insightful, both retail and corporate payments. Now we have some very interesting questions. I'd like to take 5 minutes of questions. And one of the first one is, I will give it to Saqib. And the question is, what's the top 3 lifestyle needs which you've heard from retail and SME customers of the banks in GCC when you meet with the banks?
Thank you so much, Chetan. That is definitely a very interesting question. Let me take the SME into context first. From an SME perspective, based on our research, we found out that what are the typical problems an SME owner has. And we were quite surprised to find that most of his time, around 70%, goes into stuff like book management, account keeping, invoice management, and payments. So they are not primarily in the context of the typical banking transactions. So if I have to name a few in the context of SME banking, it has to be book management, it has to be invoice management, it also has to be entitlements and giving entitlements to the different stakeholders within an organization. So I think this is very key to have it in your digital offering. In the context of retail banking, digital payments and seamless payments is something very important in the context of neo digital banking, and also having a concept of a super app within your mobile banking app. So to the point of Dimple here, nobody would want to keep on switching or the different apps, right? So if you're able to create that ecosystem where a customer is essentially doing almost everything he or she wants to do within one app, I think that's the key to success. So digital payments and then payments in the context of contextual payments, and also a lot to do with personal finance management. That's I believe one of the key things in the context of retail and GCC.
Very interesting. Another question, Pushpa, for you, and this question is from Abraham Joseph. He is asking, what's your opinion on automated testing, and is 100% automated testing advisable or possible a new major system implementation from your vast experience?
Excellent question from Abraham. See, in the digital world, with my experience, automation is we can achieve at the highest level. Probably I may not say that whether it is 100%, but definitely at a higher range between 85 to 90%. And considering the digital falling under the agile way of doing the transformation, automation is more beneficial by way of regression and easy way of achieving towards the minimum viable product, and much more useful for regression, and easily we can achieve greater than 85 to 90%, but I'm not sure about 100%.
Thank you so much, Pushpa. Quite interesting insights. Yeah. Next question, Dimple, is for you, and it's a very interesting question again from an anonymous person, that for the neobank from a traditional banking organization, would you recommend they going cloud native and putting up a new core, or would you recommend they use their legacy core and put a front end omni-channel architecture? And again, it's an amazing question to be answered by you, because you have both front end and the core platform
Yes.
for the neobank.
Yeah, thanks, Chetan. It's a very interesting question. If you look at, if it's a neobank, there are two parts to it. If you have a legacy system, the most important part comes with your processing layer, processing orchestration layer. So you bring your front-end Omni experience layer along with your processing layer, which you can use certain components of your legacy system and use the processing layer to address the missing components of your legacy system. This is the best way out, because you wanted to quick to go market, and rather than going and go for a cloud, you can easily launch a product within no time with this approach. But it's always the processing layer, or a rather orchestration layer, plays a big role over here.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to add, our experience on the same is very, very similar. Focus on differentiating customer and looking at his lifestyle and delivering the solution. Less focus should be on the core. Core is a backend system, really can be solutioned in a multiple different ways. And the last question, again, Dimple, for you, and again, this is from corporate payments perspective, that what's your view on the SWIFT GPI, and how can that be brought from a domestic payment perspective? Is there a value?
Okay, that is, Chetan, something question I would rather expect one of my key payment solution specialists to address, because though I'm in this field, but it's a very interesting question. As you mentioned, it is always advisable not to, because if you look at the payment platform, it is the payment processing layer, which it has a more detailed points, which is, again, I come to the payment orchestration layer, because I missed that slide actually, Chetan, because of the interest of time, because I was keeping one slide to because today it is the most important is that today, if you look at the SWIFT GPI, it helps you to track end-to-end. It helps you to track end-to-end payments, which comes along with your payment processing engine. Because when it comes in, you will be able to track end-to-end payment, as well as even if it needs to come into your domestic payments as well, for you to track your end-to-end payment solution.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dimple. I think the last question is just coming on the regulatory approval for cryptocurrency payments in India. So that's yet not allowed because RBI, which is the Indian regulator, still doesn't recognize any cryptocurrency payments as of now. So with that, we'll close a very, very interesting an hour of payments, and big thanks to Backbase team, Expleo team, and Intellect team to put a great show. And I can clearly see, right, global, local, all kinds of logos and the kind of innovation work you've done. And I'm sure people can contact them through the Fintech Lab. And if anybody needs to be connected, let us know. And we'll be more than happy at CedarIBSI Fintech Lab to connect you to the innovators.